Join me on the podcast today from Crawford Soil and Water is Mike Hall. Hello, Mike.
Morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Real good. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's good. Always something going on with you guys.
Yes.
And
yeah, it's a busy time of year for us.
it is. I would imagine so. Starting into the summertime. And
Getting into spring, we get good, nice days like this. You know, we're out in the field a lot more, so it's kind of nice to be out and about and, you know, kind of you come out of your hole of the winter, you know, and kind of spread your wings and get going outside. It's kind of nice, but it's, you know, field activities are definitely picking up. Planning's going on, field work, so yeah, definitely getting busy.
Awesome. So, you got a few things going on too, don't you?
Just have a real quick. We have at the SWCD. We did this several years ago. We thought we'd try it again. It's a photo contest. So we have we just talked about people getting out in spring, and we have that's a great time. Take your camera. You can use your phones. I mean, the cameras on these phones nowadays are amazing. Excuse me, but basically, we're looking for anybody to send us photos. It's a contest, so open to youth and adults. There are cash prizes for different categories, and the categories are agriculture, which is pretty broad. Nature, also pretty broad. And our theme for this year, our themed category is trees.
Okay.
So basically agriculture, nature, and then trees. So, like I said, $25 cash prize for each category winner. And that one of the requirements is the photos need to be taken within Crawford County. So we do ask for a little description of where it was at, you know, rough estimate of where it was at. And obviously, you can't be a professional photographer and enter. It's only for amateur photography.
Sure.
But if you have questions, there's a limit of 2 entries per category per person. So if there's 3 categories, total of 6 photos. And you can send them to us. If you have questions about how to send them, we have details on what format they should be sent to our office. But yeah, you know, category for youth, cash prize, and then the cash prize for adults as well. So the kids aren't competing with the adults. We separate them out and award awards that way. So yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. You know, go outside and spend some time outside. You know, and you know, a lot of things going on with flowers and birds and trees and a lot of ag going on right now. Sunsets, sunrises, all kinds of stuff. So get out there, you know, take your photos and send them to us.
I was out tilling myself yesterday. We're putting our garden in, so I was out tilling yesterday.
Well, you're lucky that you're able to get the, you know, there's a lot of the areas of the county that are wet.
Oh, yeah.
Still too wet. And you might find those fields, you know, isolated fields or isolated areas in the county that they're dry enough to do some field work or some planting. But a good majority of the county is a little wet. Hopefully we get a little more of the sun out there today and a little heat and starts
drying it out
a little bit.
Sure. You have something else going on too, right, Mike?
Yeah, so we also wanted to kind of, this is obviously, we're in May, beginning of May now, so, you know, a big thing that we do now is we take a lot of phone calls. We've been receiving a lot of phone calls here lately on ponds and pond weeds, and it's a good idea to be thinking about that now. Don't wait until June and July and try and deal with these weed problems we have in these ponds. That's too late. You need to be dealing with them now before they become a problem. So we've been dealing a lot of that, and I thought, well, it's a good thing to talk about on the podcast here this morning. Is our pond program that we have. You know, our services are offered free. You know, they're taxpayer dollars, so we offer all our services free. And as far as ponds, we'll do weed identification. Then we'll give you information on what types of options are out there to remove them. You know, not only do we deal with weeds, but, you know, this time of year we'll start, you know, people are looking to put ponds in. You know, they're wanting to build a pond somewhere. They want a property, you know, they bought a property and they want a pond. And we will go out and we'll do a site assessment for the pond. So we'll look at the watershed, you know, how many acres are coming in versus how big of a pond can you put in here. How big of a pond do you want? You know, what do you want the pond for? You know, is it swimming only? Is it fishing only? Is it swimming and fishing? You know, and everybody has a different opinion on what they want, and that's okay. I mean, but the idea is to be thinking about those things ahead of time.
Right.
The last thing we want is to have somebody buy a property with the vision of having a beautiful pond on there and have it be a nightmare. Either it doesn't fill up, or it's a weedy mess, or it just doesn't, you know, there's some issue, you know, with it that just takes away from what they thought they were going to have. And that's the worst case scenario. So our focus is to take what you want in that pond and make it happen. And so, we'll guide you. Sometimes we have to deliver bad news. I mean, we do dig test holes.
Right, okay.
That's something that I strongly encourage on a new pond is a test hole. We will have us out. Again, there's no charge. We'll log the soils that are coming out of that hole, and we'll let you know whether or not that pond's going to hold water. There's a good likelihood that it is. We've been on a lot of sites where you dig 3 or 4 test holes down, 8, 10, 12 feet, and you hit sand, sand layers, and that sand doesn't hold water. So, at least you only out the money of a backhoe or, half a day, a couple hours on a backhoe versus digging a whole pond to find out that you got to line it and then you got to liner cost. It doesn't really, the fact that you hit a sand like that. I was just talking to one individual here lately, recently, and they wanted a pond. I think they were looking at about a half acre, and we were out and dug it up and found some sand and stuff, and so they are considering a smaller pond with a liner.
Okay.
Because you just have, but that's what we do. I mean, they're still maybe going to get what they were wanting, just maybe not as big, but hopefully they can still have some of what they wanted that property for. So, that's just one thing that we offer out there, and it's just a good. If you have questions about adding a pond to your property or building a pond on your property, definitely give us a call. It's a great service. It's free. If you have ponds, we have people that buy a property that has a pond on it. They want to kind of change, maybe it's been let go and there's not been a lot of maintenance done on it, over the last 5-10 years. New owners want to change that. They want to swim in it. They want to fish in it. So we can get you in contact with the right individuals and get that back to where you want it. And, so that's another aspect of what we do. I just wanted to kind of go over all. I mean, it seems to be that's ramping up this time of year. People are getting out, like we said, they're doing maybe even just a little bit of fishing and finding out that they got weed issues or whatever. And definitely the best thing as far as weeds is to get a sample of whatever it is and bring it into us. You really need to have the proper identification of the individual weed in order to control that specific weed. A lot of times I've talked to individuals that are putting in the wrong herbicide to control the weed that they have a problem with, and they're just wasting their money and effort because it's not going to work.
Sure.
So proper identification of that weed is vitally important, first and foremost, before any herbicides or any attempt to eradicate it should be taking place. So.
Well, if someone needs your services or anybody there, how can they get that? How can
they can contact us by phone. We set up appointments during the week. We'll meet you out there. We'll try and accommodate your schedule as well. We do later in the afternoon appointments if we have to, early morning. We don't do weekends, however. But you can contact our office at 419-562-8280 or stop in the office at 3111 State Route 98 there, right beside Producers Livestock in the Ag Credit Building. And we can talk to you about it, set up an appointment.
Cool, and you have a website too, I would imagine?
Yep, have a website, and we also are, I'll bring this up since we're talking ponds, we are having a pond clinic. Every other year we have what we call our pond clinic. Basically, we go to a local pond in the county, and we bring in experts to discuss all things about ponds. Excuse me, and then we have Eugene Bragg, he's the Director of Aquatic Systems at OSU. A great speaker. We've been using him off and on for several years now for our pond clinics. And he's going to talk about pond weed identification, how to control them, and up and coming pond issues and concerns that he's seen over the last year or whatever, and what's new in that realm of things. So definitely a hands-on question and answer kind of an event. Definitely bring your questions. Bring any kind of weeds that you might want identified that night. It's free. There will be a 4-H club that usually provides like a meal or a light snack kind of thing there ahead of that. That pond clinic is Thursday, June 20th, so put that on your calendars.
Okay.
It starts at 5:15 in the evening, and then it runs till about 7:45.
Okay.
And it's located up on Cary Road near Bloomville this year, so we're kind of north central part of the county. If you are interested in that or want to register for that, you have until June 18th, just so we have an idea of the number. We like people to bring lawn chairs, sit outside and we'll, bring a lawn chair. We'll have The speakers all provided and everything. We'll have meal and drinks, and we're usually a pretty good, well attended event. So a lot of good information's, given out at that meeting. A lot of people receive we get a lot of good reviews on that, our pond clinic. So
awesome. And your photo contest one more time?
Yeah, photo contest is, get your photos in, agriculture, nature, and our featured theme this year is trees. So those 3 categories: trees, nature, and then agriculture. Again, kids and adults both competing separately. So cash prizes for those award winners.
Nice.
It's a great time of year to be getting some good photos.
Exactly.
That's a hot time.
Exactly. And I bet you've seen some really cool photos.
We have. Actually, haven't gotten that many in yet. That's why we're kind of hoping to, we started it, I think we announced it maybe late fall.
Yeah.
And over the winter, it's just, it's to get some decent stuff. People are out and about now, and you'll start seeing some roll in. So hopefully, and last time we did this, I want to say it's probably been 7-8 years ago now.
Yeah.
We got some really neat photos, some really cool photos that we were able to use, and we use them throughout the year too, as far as different, put them on our website. Obviously, then we use them for certain projects that we have, or if we have just use them around the office kind of thing. So, yep.
All right.
Good opportunity for any of the photo enthusiasts out there. So
exactly. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming in.
It.
And we'll get those pictures out there.
Yep, get those pictures, and if you have any questions about your ponds, maybe you bring in some pictures of your pond.
That would be, there you go. Why not?
Be in the nature category.
Right.
Might be a cash prize winner.
There you go.
So,
Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.